Hello there everybody, it is me XFreezerBunny and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed building video. So today we're speed building a suburban home called the Modern Mountain Mansion. So this is kind of like a suburban version of like a house that you would find in Switzerland or in the Alps. That's kind of what I was going for when I tried to build this initially, but it actually turned out looking very mid-century modern instead of like, you know, kind of like a house in Switzerland. So I ended up just calling this the modern house, modern mansion, instead of like an alpine mansion because it looks really postmodern / mid-century modern to me, with a little bit of a hint of kind of like an alpine architecture. So it's kind of like a blend of the two, which I think turned out looking really interesting anyway, so I just went with it. It's like an eclectic house, you guys get it. So yeah, this house is, I consider this house as a mansion pretty much. That's why I chose to name it as such, because this house has 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. I think what's interesting is that the main house has 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, and then there's kind of like an outhouse where, you know, it's like a separate mini house next to the garage, and it has another bedroom and another bathroom to it as well. Really interesting, and it actually turned out really nice. I'm really happy with how this mansion came out in the end. Once again, I don't really know why, but recently I've been so into building. What am I saying? I've been so into building suburban themed builds, especially homes with garages. I don't know why. It's just a thing to me, and I feel like once you get into those, it kind of takes a while to get out of that groove, if you guys get what I mean. But yeah, it's very similar to my other builds in kind of like in its attitude of being kind of like a suburban home, but at the same time it's completely different because this one is a little bit more built with a colder climate in mind. That's why I decided to do the house tour video in the snow. And disclaimer, you guys, you don't need any mods, you don't need any custom content to download any of my builds, including this one. The snow in the house tour is just for cosmetic, and it will not require you to download the snow for this house to work. Okay, so this house was made completely custom content free. As per usual, that's just how I work and that's just how I roll. I prefer to build without custom content. So anyway, like I said, this house has a lot of similarities with my previous builds, especially with my previous builds that I built recently. However, this one is not built in the desert, for one. And also this is kind of like I tried to do a different layout with this one, so the interiors actually are more open plan with some split level stuff happening. Really awesome. I'm really proud of it. I'm going to talk about that more as we get into the interior itself, but I just want to take a moment to say a temporary goodbye to you guys. I don't want to make such a big deal out of this, but I'm going to take a couple of weeks off, 2 weeks off of YouTube and recording in general, just to focus on my education. So yeah, I will update you guys on that as things progress, but I just want to give you guys a heads up that there are going to be no videos for the next 2 weeks. I will be back start of April, so it's not really that long of a wait. You know, you guys won't even feel it, and I'm pretty sure you guys probably won't even miss me. But if you guys are having some withdrawal syndromes, I highly suggest that you guys do me a favor and maybe rewatch some of my older videos if you guys haven't seen them yet, because I think that some of you guys might be interested in those, and it keeps me in touch with you guys in a way. It keeps me connected with you guys even though I'm focused at school and on my schoolwork. I will always have YouTube and you guys at the back of my mind. And you guys know that. So if you guys are having some withdrawal syndromes, I highly suggest that you guys check out my other videos. And that's just me promoting my other videos for you guys who haven't watched it yet. Yes, the shameless self-promotion is real. But yeah, finals is coming up in a couple of weeks. So I'm gonna prepare for that. Because if I don't do well, shit is gonna get real. Basically, it's gonna get pretty crap for me. So and recently I've been speed building a lot. You know, I've been actually just recording videos quite often, more than I would usually do. So you know, I upload videos almost every day or once every other day, you know, 3 times a week at least. So I'm taking a break from that and just focusing on what I need to do right now, which is to focus on my education. And yeah, I didn't prepare any videos. I just didn't have the time for it. But I did choose to leave you guys with at least one speed build, and this is it. So yeah. So that's kind of like a little bit of an update as to how life is happening for me. But as you guys can see, we are now furnishing the interiors, and for the main living and dining room, which I will refer to as the great room, we have a split level area, which I'm so excited about. I actually haven't done any split level builds recently. I think the last one I did probably was the Newcrest Row Apartment number 2. I think that would have been the last one, and that one was like a year ago. So a lot of you guys have said that all my recent builds had like the same layout for the floor plan in the interior. So I decided to do a split level for this one, just to kind of spice things up a little bit and make it nothing too elaborate. Oh my gosh, I was gonna say nothing too crazy. But you guys know I'm kind of implementing a self-imposed censorship for myself, preventing me from saying nothing too cray. In case you guys will get what I mean, I'm winking at y'all. But yeah, I have a tendency to kind of be loyal to the catchphrases that I use, and some people don't necessarily like it. So I'm trying to discipline myself and just, you know, not be too over the top and not overuse some of the words, but whatever. Anyway, I think it's really interesting how the kitchen is actually on the upper level and that the dining room is actually on the lower level. So as you guys can see that there is kind of like a staircase that leads from the kitchen to the dining room. I think that was kind of a fun little thing to incorporate. Disclaimer too, the TV on the living room does not work. I realized the split leveling thing does not work on the TVs. If you put the TV on a wall, the Sims will not be able to watch it, but it's okay because many of the bedrooms has their own TV, so it really isn't such a big deal. But I really like how the kitchen works in relationship to the dining room, actually, because I like how you have to go down this flight of stairs to get to the dining room. And also there's this interesting kind of like diamond jewel shaped room behind the fireplace, and that's actually a closet. You guys won't see me furnish it, but it is furnished. It has like some clothes and stuff in it. Also, I decided to put the fireplace in front of the main entrance because I literally had nowhere to put it. Because since this is a split level build, the fireplace does not attach to the area where the living room is. So I was like, oh my gosh, where is the prominent place where I'm gonna incorporate this fireplace? So I just went ahead and put it in the main entrance to kind of like give it kind of like that cold weather atmosphere, if you guys get what I mean. So right now we're working on the kitchen, and once again I'm actually really happy with how the kitchen turned out. It is so different from the kitchens that I've done before, and I'm really happy because, you know, it shows that I am growing. It shows that I'm coming up with new ideas, and I'm really happy with the counters and how they work. The circular ones are actually going to be a bar. And those bar stools that came with Spa Day work so perfect with the look that I was going for. It came together so amazingly. It looks realistic, but at the same time, it also looks really kind of luxurious and amazing. And I don't know, it looks exactly like I had imagined it in my mind. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with how the kitchen turned out. I also used this kind of like gray texture and pattern that came with Cool Kitchen, which is actually something that I've never used before, and I'm really happy that I did this time because they look really interesting. It kind of gives me that, like, I don't know, that kind of like Canadian maple syrup kind of vibe. I don't know, it just came out really nicely. Just to give you guys some context as to this build is inspired by kind of like, you know, the houses that you would have in colder climates, but specifically this build is a suburban house, you know, somewhere in the United States, maybe Colorado, you know. I can see this existing in Aspen, if you guys get what I mean, you know. So it's kind of like a suburban mansion for like a rich family who lives in, you know, in the colder parts of America, in like the temperate parts of America. And this isn't necessarily a vacation home. The people who live here are permanent residents of this place. So yeah. There is actually this one area over here of the ground level where it's basically just like a spa / gym area. I really wanted to incorporate this sauna, so there you go, there's a sauna room, and there is also like a nice little gym area. There is a treadmill and also some weights in this area, so it actually turned out really nice. I'm really happy with how both the spa area and the gym came out. It's not something that you would have in every suburban home, but I feel like in this context they really work. I think they're very kind of relevant to where I situated this build specifically, so I'm really happy with how it came together in the end. Also, there is kind of like this interesting seating area which is, I don't know, it's kind of like a reading area. There's no library, there's like no office area, so this is kind of like that, kind of like a reading nook, reading corner. And yeah, nothing too crazy. Oh my gosh, I said it. Somebody shoot me. Just kidding, but I know somebody's just gonna react in the comments. But yeah, it's just a really simple corner that I put some functional things in just to give it some more life. And also outside the sauna, I put this kind of like changing area, you know, where you would probably change into your bathrobes or maybe just get some towels or something. I actually had to edit that out because this build is actually kind of long. It's about 36 minutes long. So there's some rooms that I had to edit out. Specifically, the bathrooms, I had to edit them out, except for the master bathroom. I kept that one, and also some of the hallways and stuff, I also had to edit those out, and also some of the landscaping as well. And if you guys know me, you would know how much I am against editing the videos, because as much as possible, I try to keep the videos intact. All of the footage that I have, I try my best to incorporate it in the build. Unfortunately, that just isn't possible. The more ambitious your build is, the longer it's gonna get, inevitably. So, I had to make the difficult decision to just edit some parts of it out. So the gym actually has a treadmill, as I mentioned before. It has some weights. I tried to incorporate like a punching bag, but it just didn't fit the space. But there is a TV though, so you know, maybe somebody who's using the treadmill can also watch the TV for entertainment. I remember in the older Sims, like in The Sims 2, you could actually exercise in front of the TV. You can do some aerobics and stuff. Do you guys refer to it as aerobics though? I'm not sure. Cause, you know, my mom, she's like an 80s gal. And when I was younger, I remember this was like in the late 90s / early 2000s. I remember my mom, she would be like in tights, in leotards, and she would be in front of the TV doing some stretches and doing aerobics. And, you know, she would have all of these like dumbbells and, you know, these stationary bikes. I'm just like, oh my gosh, it reminds me so much of the 80s, right? Like, oh, yeah, that's just, I don't know, that's just one splash of nostalgia that I wanted to share with you guys. So speaking of parents, we are actually furnishing the master bedroom of this house. So basically, this house was made for like a couple, like maybe a middle-aged couple with like semi-adult kids, maybe kids in college. And basically they are very well off. I imagine this couple to work within probably law enforcement or medicine or the scientist. No, not really scientist. Maybe more of like law enforcement or medicine or in politics or something. And you know, they're very well off. They can afford to have a really luxurious life, and they send their kids to good grade A schools. Definitely their kids are in the Ivy League, if you guys get what I mean. So, I actually put an extra effort in furnishing the kids' bedroom for this one just to give it a lot more personality. And I'm really, really happy with one of the bedrooms that you guys will see later on. So yeah. Once again, the master bedroom is very, very general when it comes to the furnishing. You know, it's a lot of neutral colors with some blue accents in the fabrics, and also some black furniture as well with like some woods and stuff. There I go with the cabinet thing. I don't know why, but I love using those cabinets as like a frame for like the TV. It looks very much like those entertainment sets that you would have, you know, where you would have like some cabinets and some shelves where you would either put some books or some DVDs, or maybe VCDs or like VHSs. Yes, we had a VHS when we were younger, and I remember, I don't know why this build is becoming so nostalgic, but when I was younger, I didn't grow up in the VHS period. I was more of like in the VCD period. Comment down if you guys can relate. Let me know. But yeah, we had a couple of VHSs, and I remember like Indiana Jones was one of the VHSs that we had, and it probably my favorite one. I'm not sure which Indiana Jones that was, but it was the one where they went to get like the Holy Grail. I loved watching that one. It was so funny. I probably didn't get like half the jokes because I was literally like 5, but yeah. Anyway, for the VHS period, you know, it's kind of like a CD. I don't really know what a difference between a VCD and a DVD is. I'm not even gonna get into that, but I remember like our VCD player was actually a Walkman. And I remember like watching mostly sequels of Disney animated films like Lion King 2, Little Mermaid 2, which is one of my favorite movies ever. Also Lion King 2 as well. Aladdin, the one where they went for like Aladdin and the 40 Thieves or something. I remember those days where you would just rent CDs and stuff. Also Cinderella 2 as well, which I also really liked. I don't even know. This is like a major nostalgia thing. I don't know why. Beauty and the Beast just came out, so surprise. I haven't watched it yet. We might watch it this week or something with my friends. But I hear a lot of people complain a lot about Emma Watson's performance. I really didn't mind her performance, to be honest. I'm so indifferent with her performance. I'm just like, meh. I love Dan Stevens as Beast though. I've been such a huge fan of Downton Abbey, and he is so compelling the way he acts without even showing like his real body. You know, it's all CGI, but his voice is just on point and it just works so well. Okay, so I got so distracted, but the bedroom that we just furnished before was kind of like a bedroom for a person or like a child of this house that it's kind of like a jet setter, somebody who likes to travel, somebody who likes to vlog, maybe somebody who's pursuing a career in social media. That's their bedroom. Okay, so I also am furnishing right now the master bathroom, and I'm so happy with how I actually combined the sinks and put like a table on top of them. I've seen so many of my favorite builders do this. And I was like, you know what? I think this would be a great opportunity to kind of do that. So, it turned out looking really nice. And of course, it's a his and her sink because, this is the master bedroom. The master and the mistress of the house has to have their own personal sink. I've never actually lived in the house or even stayed at a hotel that had double sinks. Is it a common thing for you guys in America to have double sinks? I don't know. But yeah, I will actually tweak the master bathroom a little bit later on, just with the painting and some of the decorations and stuff. But yeah. So, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm feeling so nostalgic right now. One movie that we did watch recently was Logan, and it was actually really good. I'm not a super fan of X-Men. I am a fan of it because my brother is so into that kind of stuff, and he would, as kids, we would often go and watch those kinds of movies together and even play those kind of video games together. So yeah, but Logan was such a good movie, honestly. And actually, my friends kind of asked me out of nowhere if I wanted to watch. And they were like, dude, the movie starts in like 30 minutes. Get your freaking ass here. And I literally scrambled to make it on time. And we were kind of late. We kind of missed the first maybe 20 minutes of it, but it was fine. I still understood most of the movie and it was so worth it. It was such a good movie. That's all I'm gonna say. So I'm not even sure why I'm talking about this, but okay. So anyway, we're working on kind of like the upstairs hallway, and this area has kind of like the video game / media area. So this is where the kids would play their video games. This was where they would play their Xbox or their PS4. # console wars. And yeah, they could also watch TV here to make it more private, and the TV actually works here. So the TV downstairs doesn't quite work, but at least the TV on the upstairs works. Alright, so we are now working on kind of like the separate outhouse area, and this is probably like my favorite bedroom in this whole entire house because this is the bedroom for like the second child of the house, and basically this kid is a little bit more rebellious than the jet setter one. This one likes to take risks. This one likes to go against the ideals of society, and this one likes to play music. So that's why basically the family built a separate kind of like house extension for this kid, because the kid, it's just so he doesn't disturb everybody else in the house. He or she has his own room. And oh my gosh, my voice is like having a freaking meltdown right now. Okay, so anyway, hopefully you guys are getting what I'm trying to say here. So yeah, this person is really rebellious. This person, both of the kids I mentioned earlier are in college, but this one likes to kind of cut class and be all provocative and stuff. But yeah, this person is very creative, likes to express themselves with music, and also likes the color red for some strange reason. I discovered this really awesome chandelier or light fixture, and I will actually replace those with that one. There you go. And I will also replace the one upstairs. But being kind of like an open-minded family, they're all for creativity and stuff, so they don't really mind having a kid that's rebellious. They actually welcome the idea of having a rebellious kid because that's just how this person expresses themselves. So, they went out of their way to give this person his or her own bedroom. So, that's love for me. My parents put up with all the crap that I give them, so I think that's just family. And that's, if you really love someone, you will put up with them and you will want what's best for them. So yeah, this family is definitely the type of family that does not force their kids to do things, like, how we're in some families, like Archie's family, for example. His dad really wants him to go on football. I'm talking about Archie in Riverdale, by the way. Oh my gosh, you guys, I don't know why, but I cannot talk. Like seriously, I am struggling with my words. I'm getting tongue-tied. I don't even know where it's coming from, but yeah, anyway, oh my gosh, I miss Riverdale already. The next episode is like 2 weeks away. When I have my finals. So literally suffering. But yeah, this house is very open-minded, and this household, they prefer the kids to be more expressive with themselves. So whatever the kids want, they kind of like allow them to pursue that and support that. Right now, the room that we're working on is the guest bedroom. So, this is a bedroom where probably they would have their grandparents would stay. If the grandparents are staying over, this is probably the bedroom that they would have, or maybe some important corporate guests, or maybe friends staying over from college or something, they could have them here. It's actually quite a large bedroom, but this bedroom actually shares a bathroom with one of the kids' bedrooms, and I just realized that there is no fourth bedroom in this house. So what I mentioned earlier, that there are 4 bedrooms here, I stand corrected. There's only 3, but they're all full bathrooms. So the kid sleeping in the shed outside doesn't need to go all the way upstairs. He can just sneak in to the downstairs bathroom and do his business there. So yeah, the guest bedroom, I just went for something that was very kind of like neutral, relaxing. So it's a lot of blues. Blue is a really calming color. It's a perfect color for the bedroom because it calms you down. And it's also like a mixture of like contemporary and traditional furniture. Actually, a lot of the closets that I used are very traditional, but some of the decorations, like the paintings and some of the chairs, and are very contemporary. And I feel like that's a very suburban thing. I feel like that's kind of like a nice mix of contemporary and traditional, makes things look timeless, I think, in my opinion. Also, it took me a million years to figure out that I haven't changed the roof texture yet. So a while back, you guys just saw me change the roof texture. And also, I'm incorporating once again a swimming pool with a diving board, which I'm really liking the diving boards right now. I'm becoming so attached to them. I don't even realize why it took me forever to like the diving boards, but probably because they're not your usual diving boards that we would get. It's more of like a diving platform, but it's okay. So I think that does it for most of the interior. I still haven't done a car yet, though. I still haven't incorporated a car, but this family, they're gonna have an automobile, of course, because they're kind of like the corporate guys. Maybe a little bit more upper middle class. So yeah. For the landscaping, I went for something that was very suburban once again. We have these planter beds with some alpine looking landscaping, alpine looking flora and not fauna. Definitely not fauna, but alpine looking foliage. That's the word that I was looking for. And also there was this extra space at the back, and I just made it into like an open greenhouse. I know that that makes no sense. Like, what is an open greenhouse? But it's kind of like a shaded area for more versatile, no, actually for more vulnerable plants. So, you know, this is where you would keep maybe plants that are kind of like vulnerable to sunlight, if you guys get what I mean. So I don't actually know what kind of plants those are, but I know that some varieties of fruits and vegetables need to have less sunlight. I actually know some farmers who would have these nets over their plants to keep the plants from being too exposed to the sun. So that's kind of like the idea for that kind of area. And there's, in case you guys haven't noticed it yet, there's so much going on with this house. There's actually a lot of outdoor activities here. You know, there is a swimming pool, there's a jacuzzi, there is a sauna. Is a sauna an outdoor activity? No, it's not, but whatever. There is a garden. There's actually even like a fire pit somewhere here later on. So, you know, there's a lot of outdoorsy things you could do here, which I feel like is a very American thing to do. You know, you guys really like your camping. You guys really like to go outdoors, jogging, hiking, everything. Let me just tell you, as an Asian and as a Filipino, we don't really go out camping that much. We don't even go, you know, hiking or something. It's a lot less uncommon in our culture. So, but you know, I am very familiar with, you know, I've gone camping before for sure, but we don't do it at the rate that you guys in America do so. So yeah. For the trees, I used some lower trees. I wanted to use some of those really tall pine trees and evergreens that came with Outdoor Retreat, but they just did not work. I did not like how they looked. So I just went for some cypress trees and some of these flowering kind of like pine trees as well. And they actually look pretty good. So I'm really happy that I chose those because they look quite nice. Definitely one of my favorite landscaping items in The Sims 4 is this bush that came with Outdoor Retreat. And I use these in almost all of my builds, but they just look so awesome. I love these bushes. Hopefully nobody gets the wrong idea. I mean, I love bushes, but I mean, I love these bushes that came with Outdoor Retreat. I'm literally winking at you guys. That was literally like the worst joke ever. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but I sound like a complete psychopath, but whatever. Anyway, so for this, I love that segue there. For this patio area, I went for some gray furniture. I felt like that was such an interesting color. I'm beginning to learn to manage the matchiness of my builds and my furniture, because usually when I do wood, I make sure to make all of the wooden items kind of like the same wood. But you know, like, you know, sometimes it's good to mix and match things, just to have a little bit of variety. I love how at this point I'm still not incorporating a car, but whatever. So yeah, there's also an outdoor bar area, I think. Yeah, there is. And also like some purple chairs. I like it actually. I used some chairs that came with what did those chairs came with? I'm not sure. Maybe Cool Kitchen or backyard stuff or something. I don't know. But yeah, those chairs, you guys will get exactly what I'm talking about in just a second. Let's see here. Okay, those chairs, yeah, they have like this purple cushion, which I actually really like. I feel like it adds a little bit of color to the outside as well, and it looks really nice. So I'm really happy that I discovered that it actually had that. So yeah. And also over here with a nice little fire pit, you know, for the Sims to roast some marshmallows and s'mores and stuff like that if they want to. And this is like just the garden area over here. Maybe the mom, if she likes gardening, or the dad. My dad likes to garden. He likes to take care of his bonsai trees and stuff. So, you know, that's just you know, something relaxing, especially if they have like retired people. I think that gardening is very, very relaxing to do. So there's just so much stuff to do in the backyard, and I'm really, really, really happy with how the backyard turned out. But like I said earlier, a lot of the landscaping has been done off camera, so just keep that in mind because it gets repetitive, so I don't really mind editing out most of the landscaping. But it looks like this build is coming to an end, so yeah, no hashtags for this video, just enjoy, and I'm gonna miss you guys and I can't wait to start recording again once April turns around the corner. So yeah, like I said, that is going to be it for this build. Let's go ahead and cut into the screenshots of the floor plans so you guys can see how this build works. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up my commentary right here. Once again, please don't forget to hit that like, favorite, and subscribe button if you guys had fun watching this video because it really helps out the channel a lot, okay? You all have an awesome, awesome, awesome day. Thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye!